Let me begin my closing statement with a story. Story of a man, who dreamt that he died. He dreamt in the night, that he died in a car accident, and the next morning he woke up. He was so convinced that he actually died that he began to tell his wife, that, I'm dead. And his wife didn't bother to really respond to it. She thought she was delusional or something. She just ignored him. But after it got quite annoying. He kept insisting, that I'm dead for a period of many days. And sooner or later she could stand it no longer. She took him to a psychiatrist who tried to convince this guy that he was not dead. Tried every method in the book, nothing worked. And finally the psychiatrist tried to convince this guy. He showed him a diagram that only living people bleed. At first this guy couldn't take it, but after some time this guy who thought he was dead conceded. He said, okay fine, only living people bleed. And when he did this, the psychiatrist whipped out a needle, plunged it into the guy's veins, and as you'd expect, blood gushes out. And psychiatrist is here, he's waiting, for the guy to admit that he's alive, and for all he knew, the guy, just ended up saying, my goodness, I guess even dead people bleed too. So, my moral of the story is that, sometimes I think it's subjective. How much evidence is enough? It's subjective. Regardless of how much evidence you throw in, sometimes people may still want to take issue with you, and I hope that's not the case with all of us here tonight. In response, sometimes, we try to give evidence, but I think the question is not so much that there is no evidence, it is more that it is not enough. And I think that is the question. Now, in response to, and I'm always, Mr. Willie, always said I'm quoting from the Bible, and so for now, I'm going to change. I'm going to quote an agnostic here who, by the name of David Belinsky, who wrote a book entitled The Devil's Delusion in response to Richard Dawkins' God Delusion. This is what David Belinsky, he's a scientist from Princeton at one time. He's an agnostic, by no means a Christian. I don't agree with everything he says, but this is what he says. In the book Devil's Delusion, David Belinsky says, has anyone provided a proof of God's inexistence? Not even close. Has quantum cosmology explained the emergence of the universe or why it is here? Not even close. Has the sciences explained why our universe appears to be so finely tuned to allow for the intelligence of life? Not even close. Are physicists and biologists willing to believe in anything as long as it is not religious thought? Close enough. Has rationalism in moral thought provided us with an understanding of what is good, what is right, or what is moral? Not close enough. Has secularism in the terrible 20th century been a force for good? Not even close to being close. Is there a narrow and oppressive orthodoxy of thought and opinion within the sciences? Close enough. Is there anything in the sciences or their philosophy that justify the claim that religious belief is irrational? Not even in the ballpark. Is scientific atheism a frivolous exercise in intellectual contempt? They don't. Now, I don't claim to believe everything David Belinsky says, but this is an agnostic speaking here. And if you disagree with him, as I said, your issue is with your fellow agnostic, it's not with me. I had two purposes, just in conclusion, I'd just like to say this. I have two purposes in coming to this debate. Number one, as Joanne mentioned, to prove the defensibility of the Christian faith and why there is evidence to believe in God. It is not wishful thinking in a bearded guy up in the skies. That is not the case. There is good evidence to believe it. The question is not tonight so much that there is no God. The question is there is not enough evidence for God. So you cannot disprove God. You just have to be satisfied with an agnostic position that there is a high possibility, there's a possibility that there is no God, there's a high possibility there's no God. Richard Dawkins himself wouldn't want to put a figure on how impossible it is for God to exist. No one would really make that assertion. So, and my second objective in coming to tonight's debate is to actually hear atheism out. I think a lot of times, like he said, we need to read sciences from the science book. We shouldn't read newspaper articles about science. And I think tonight, I am very thankful to all of you from the Malaysian atheists and so forth. You have given me, and I believe all the Christians around here, a chance to actually hear you out. And for that, I'm very grateful. So, my two objectives, to defend the Christian faith, to hear the atheists, I believe I've been successful in both defending the faith and also into hearing the true claims of the atheists. So, thank you again, once again, Dr. Kok. Thank you again, Mr. Willie, for your, and all of you for your commitment in participating in this event. You have been a fantastic audience. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.